Welcome everyone to the 2023 Ethics in Business Awards. I am Joel Kaufman. I'm Executive Director at Recognize Good. We're happy to host you today. Please enjoy your lunches and your networking as we go through. But let's come together and let's celebrate the best that the Austin area business community has to offer. That is why we are all here today. Take a look.
Every year, we come together to create a library. For one day, hundreds of novels worth of life experience gather together to celebrate a few standout chapters in the collective story of Central Texas. We do this as a group to not only better champion our honorees, but because we recognize the value of dedicating time to congregate and learn from one another. Some of the life stories here today are many chapters in. Others are merely in their prologue. But regardless of age or industry, we each provide a source of inspiration to those around us. That inspiration is acutely needed as we face economic conditions and technological disruptions that promise to change the way we do business. Yet despite these challenges, we know the future isn't written and that each of us possess the power to change it for the better. So thank you for joining us today to celebrate our community's successes and for adding to the library on display here today. Because the examples championed and bonds created here today are what powers this community and leads to a more fair and equitable future.
Recognize Good has a pretty simple mission. It's to illuminate the good that we see in our community. We feel there's a real power in shining a light on the good news that's happening around us. We've got quite a few programs that serve that goal. We recognize individual volunteer all-stars, people who go way above and beyond to serve others. People like Robert Moore, of Manor, Texas, who served as a volunteer firefighter and chaplain for decades and has collected and handed out thousands of toys and games for his annual Christmas sleigh ride. We recognize service groups, many of which are here today, and we simply say thank you. Violet Crown Garden Club, I know, is here today. That's been working for free since 1924 to keep Zilker Gardens looking beautiful. We just go and we tell them thank you and we help tell their story. And then the program that's brought us here today, our Ethics in Business Awards, we're looking for businesses that put people above profits, businesses that can demonstrate the values that they lead with, respect and integrity and honesty, and we do make them prove it, as you'll learn today. And then we celebrate at the end of the day, which is why we're here today. So we've got a whole script, we've got a whole run of show today, but whether or not we stick to that depends on two men that I will introduce you to now. Your hosts for today, please help me welcome Mr. Earl Maxwell and Dr. Don Christian.
Thanks, Joel. Earl, all yours.
Hello, Don.
Get us started.
Well, thank you for that round of applause. It is just wonderful to see this room full of people. This is the 21st year of Ethics in Business Awards, and I think I've been to all of them except for last year's. But I think it's a real tribute to all of you and to the Ethics in Business Awards program that this room is full after going mobile for 2 years during the pandemic. So again, welcome to all of you. Bobby Jenkins, for many years, co-hosted with me, and he's celebrating his 40th wedding anniversary in Europe in the last Facebook page I saw, he was in Amsterdam. So don't feel sorry for Bobby. So we're here to celebrate a thing called ethics in business and in the community. And I'm going to hand it over to Don.
Oh, thanks so much, Earl. You know, Earl, I understand you came out of retirement for this. Is that right? Drove all the way up from the coast to be with us today. And you know, it's something when we look at you, Earl, and others, you mentioned Bobby, and so many others out here who have set the standard for ethics and how we do our work here in the Austin business community. I salute you. 20-some years and more of doing ethical work. I believe you were one of the very first recipients of one of the Ethics in Business Awards. Concordia University, Texas has been involved with the Ethics in Business Award for 15 years because we believe that's an important thing as well. We are setting examples for Austin and for the future of Austin. You know, with future business leaders that I get to work with every day. We've got about 15, 20 of them here, thousands of young men and women studying business and leadership to work in organizations here in Austin, across Texas, and even across the world, who we show them the examples of what it means to lead in a way that was talked about, where we put people and profits together to make sure it's a good business. Earl, I'm going to hand it back over to you now to talk about our program sponsors and get things keeping going.
Now it's my pleasure to recognize this year's program sponsors, and I think we're going to run a video to do that. Just relax. There they are. And then we have two program sponsors, Tyrex Group and ABC Home and Commercial Services, both former award recipients. And let's give them a round of applause. And if you notice the little clay votives on your table, I'm not sure what a votive is, so I hope you can find it. Those were actually 3D printed by our friends at the Tyrex Group, and I'm sure many of you saved the beautiful 3D printed skylines out front as well. So now it's our leadership sponsors are Ashley and Associates and Five Stone Tax Advisors and ETS Lindgren. There they are. Our community sponsors are Texas Disposal Systems, Texas Mutual Insurance, and Frost Bank. Let's give them a round of applause. Our mentor sponsors are KPMG, Hire Better, Giving Home Healthcare, and Weinheimer Wealth Management. Let's give them a round of applause. We're here today to celebrate the ethical business, and the reason we're able to do that is because way back in 2002, an organization called the Samaritan Center presented these awards for the first time in Central Texas. They understood the link between ethical business practices and the healthy community they work to build every day. That's why we continue to partner with them each and every year. And we hold these awards because they've been part of the solution in Austin since 1974. So let's learn more from the CEO of the Samaritan Center, Cindy Long.
Thank you, Earl. Thank you, Dr. Christensen. And thank you, Recognize Good and Tyrex, for another wonderful event. Samaritan Center provides mental health services. In case you don't know what we do, we provide counseling, peer support, and acupuncture. We have two main programs, our Hope for Heroes program that serves veterans and their families, and our Healthy Community program serves everybody else. Next year, we'll celebrate our 50th anniversary. Very excited. So why do we talk about mental health at the Ethics in Business Awards? Every year, we tell you how critical mental health is and how it impacts your business. We tell you that depression is the #1 reason for work absenteeism. I give you sobering statistics to try to get your attention, like the second leading cause of death in children ages 10 to 14 is suicide. But last October, the Surgeon General issued a report that clearly identifies the connection between business ethics and mental health. This is a must-read for everybody in this room, so if you haven't seen it, you must read it. Dr. Murthy tells us that the COVID-19 pandemic brought the relationship between work and well-being into closer focus. He talks about a recent survey that shows that 76% of U.S. workers reported at least one mental health condition. 76%. 84% said that their workplace contributed to that mental health condition. And 81% of workers said they will be looking for workplaces that support mental health. The report says that businesses have a moral obligation to support their employees' mental health and that it's related to a healthy bottom line. This is the U.S. Surgeon General, not me. The report ends with a powerful challenge. We can build workplaces that are engines of well-being. The Ethics in Business Awards movement has been promoting that for 21 years. There are 500 people in this room today. We can build workplaces that are engines of well-being. Let's do it. Let's do it. The rise in mental health conditions is overwhelming. We can't keep up with the need. We need more counselors. We need people in the community promoting prevention and educating people. We need your support to do this. If you have the capacity to help improve the lives of children, adults, and families in our community, please consider supporting the Samaritan Center. Come visit us. At the end of today's luncheon, or during this luncheon, you're going to have a chance to support us and the fun opportunity to win a trip to Grand Cayman. There are donation cards at your table. Just be sure that you put your name and check the amount that you're donating, even if you use the QR code, because we're just going to draw those cards. And if you make a every donation counts and helps. We need it all. But if you make a donation of at least $100, you will be eligible to win a trip to Grand Cayman and spend a week in a beautiful three-bedroom condo. Congratulations and thank you to the nominees for going above and beyond, building workplaces that are engines of well-being. Thanks, everyone, and now I hope you'll enjoy this video and hear from a few of our clients.
You're used to having a core group of guys that you're always around in the military, and when you come out, you don't have that. You don't have a purpose. You don't have, you're kind of just like, what's next, you know? I remember when I first got out, I literally sat in a dark room for probably the first year I was out and would drink myself to oblivion every night, you know.
My husband's name is Jose, and we've been married, April will be 18 years. there's a thing when you get used to living with somebody who has PTSD, it's almost like a secondary PTSD of sorts, because it changes who you are. And so like I lost myself over almost 17 years. You go through rock bottom and you come up and you go to the bottom, and last year was like the bottom. And so it was like, I need to work on me first before I can be a good wife that you need and a good mom. So this was for me.
I knew that I needed help, but I was unfamiliar with therapy. But my wife heard about the Samaritan Center, and we came over here and started checking it out. And because there are so many people here who are veterans or have family members who are veterans, that is an icebreaker, if you want to call it that. The tools that I got from the Samaritan Center are, for me personally, rationalization of being here and now, being present in the moment where you are, as opposed to staying in the, most difficult times of my life.
I mean, it completely changed like our household. I'll just say that. Like, I'm just grateful for where we are today, and the counseling that I got, like I said, helped me to fix me or to work on me so that I could then be a better mom, be a better wife, like be supported, just all those things that I felt like I was failing at. It's definitely, I would recommend anybody come to the Samaritan Center.
I'd say the Hope for Heroes program gave me the tools I needed to get my life straight, and the people that I've dealt with, all of them have been great for me. It's like, it's almost like family.
Thank you all.
So I think this is the time in the program where we ask you to complete those cards and give as much as you feel like giving. And we're going to have volunteers. I don't know where the volunteers are to pick up those cards. And again, if you contribute $100 or more, you have the chance of being in the raffle for the trip for two to the Grand Cayman Islands. In the past, Bobby Jenkins and I have offered to be cabana boys on that trip, but no one ever took us up on it, so I'm not going to make that offer this year. Well, the meal is being served, and I'm going to ask Don Christian to come up and carry on.
Meal is being served, right? Meal being served? All right, it looks like meals are being served, and we're just going to talk to you a little bit as the food is coming out, and feel free to dig right in about how Concordia University, Texas has worked closely with Recognized Good and with the Samaritan Center for many years in making this program a reality. It isn't just somebody that wakes up one morning and goes, I think we'll honor so-and-so in these different categories, but it is a long process of people being nominated from you all and others across the community, those nominations being vetted, those people then being interviewed by students from Concordia University, Texas, and then a panel of people from Leadership Austin along with Concordia comes together to select those recipients. We are so proud at Concordia to partner with Recognized Good because we believe that the process of understanding what it means to lead in an ethical way changes lives. You heard about it within a business, how it changes lives. You know it changes lives in the community, and it changes lives in homes. We believe that we need to do the right thing and do things right. You know, for me, when I think about what our students have done in talking with business leaders, thinking about ethical practices, what it means to lead ethically, there are literally hundreds of people who have gone through this program at Concordia and with Recognized Good that are leading here in Central Texas and across the world. It makes a difference. We all need to be examples of how we do this. And so I would encourage all of us to be those shining lights. We're going to talk about that later today too, within our places of work, within our community, and across the entire Austin business region, that we do our work that exceeds expectations. Because I got to tell you folks, when you do work like that, it sets an example for others. And there are a group of students from Concordia here today. There are people here from the University of Texas. There are people from across this region, not just in this room, but in our college and university system in this whole region that are watching closely. Because when they graduate and move into those places of business, they expect ethical leadership. And when they see that, they lead that way. And as they lead that way, people are better served. I want to also thank Recognized Good for contributing a $20,000 scholarship each year to Concordia students as they do this work. That is such a fantastic gift for us. And I'd like to introduce somebody and bring up on stage a good friend, the person who makes this scholarship happen. Her name is Raina Wyatt. Raina has deep ties with Recognized Good, with the Tyrex Group, and with Concordia University of Texas. So Raina, come on forward and share some thoughts with us.
I don't have to make the short person adjustment this year to the mic. Amazing. Well, Tom and I are very proud to be part of this event and also to contribute to this scholarship. I would like to introduce Isaiah Johnson, who is a student at Concordia, and he is going to provide his perspectives on what it means to be an ethical business.
Sorry, I took the long way up there, but welcome everybody, and I'm just going to explain kind of what my experience was like going through this class, and to say the least, it was amazing, but to jumpstart it, it all started in my professor, Feaster's class, and Persuasive Calm. She's here today, and she brought up the topic of this class, and everybody was listening to what she had to say, and I asked one question, and next thing I know, I'm enrolled, okay? And there we go. But growing up, I've been around my dad a lot, and my dad is kind of in corporate America. Seen him go from GM all the way to DM to VP, and I also play soccer, so he takes me to those tournament weekends, and he's on calls the whole time, right? So I'm also in calls the whole time, but I'm not getting paid for it. It's okay. But I retained a lot of very valuable information on ethics, how to talk to people, how to manage a lot of people, okay, how to pivot from different tasks, different things that happen in the workplace, and I carry that on through my life, through high school, going through DECA, going to state, going to regionals, and then coming into college with this class. I'd like to take a second to say to my father that I'm very proud of you, and I love you a lot, and I am who I am today because of you, okay? So we get into the class, and we get broken up into groups, and it was an eye-opening experience to be able to go to talk to the CFOs, the CEOs, and get their perspective on how they treat their people and how they think they treat their people. I was in nonprofit, so I got to speak to all the nonprofit guys, and it's kind of hard going into nonprofit because they have such good causes, right? They're putting people through camps that haven't been able to get lunch. They're saving animals. They're at refugee camps and stuff like that. So you have to set aside the fact that the cause is good, but we need to talk about how they treat people, how they treat everybody they come in contact with, okay? So going through that process, we got to see all the details, and you really don't understand who's going to win until you step back and you see all of the candidates. And then now we kind of turn into critics. We turn into critics and we start picking at things, little minute details. What did they do here wrong? What did they do here? It goes to as far as to say that we went to a place and they offered us water and the other people didn't offer us water. Like, we're getting deep into it because these people are so good, right? These people are really good people. So we're like, what separates them? Well, they offered us water, right? But it's an amazing experience, and I can speak for myself as well as everybody in the class by saying that this class gives us an edge that most kids don't get in college. I went through college, and I don't really apply myself in the fact of business because that I feel as I already have a one-up because of growing up next to my father and everything just coming really naturally to me. But this specific class, working with ethics, working with humans will be humans. And it's amazing to see what lengths they will go to treat people well. And we know going into the workforce how to be treated and what we should demand for people who work next to us, okay? So it's a very strong leadership group that is coming out of that class, and I'm very proud to be a part of it, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to speak in front of everybody here, and please enjoy yourself, and thank you.
Come over here. Before I hand it back over to Earl, I'd like to recognize all of the students from Concordia University, Texas, who are here with us today. Would you all stand, please, and get a big hand? People like Isaiah and all of them over there, give them a big hand right here. Stand up, there they are. Thank you all very much.
I hope we got Isaiah's remarks recorded. And if we did, I hope we get a copy to your dad and your family. But you did a great job. Thanks again to our partners at Concordia University who put in hours of work to lead up to this day. And now let's get on to the awards. Each year, our friends at Ashley & Associates, which is a CPA firm in Austin, and a former ethics and business honoree, they tally and verify the secret selection ballots submitted that provide us with winners in each category. As we welcome managing partner Cheryl Morales onto the stage to present this year's results, please join me in thanking Cheryl and her team at Ashley & Associates for providing this important validation. And she has the official briefcase. And in the past, we had the briefcase chained to her wrist, but in the past, we lost the key, so we decided not to do that. Welcome, Cheryl. And now we're to the part of the program that all of you have been waiting for. Let's present these awards. We invite all of our award recipients to say a few words and bring anyone you'd like to the stage with you. You're not limited to 2 or 3 people. We've had 20 or 30 people up here in the past, so bring up here whoever you'd like. Then everyone will exit the stage. You'll come up on the stage over here and you'll exit to my right, and we'll get photos right over here before you return to your tables. Now to present the award in the category of large business, please welcome to the stage Michelle Long from a former Ethics in Business Award honoree, Shop LC. There you go. Good to see you.
Hi, everyone. How are you? Well, working for a home shopping network means we have a lot of eyes on our product. And we all know that everyone has a choice of where they shop and who they do business with. I think we can all understand the difference between a relationship with a company that we want to do business with and those that we don't. So our 3 nominees this year for the Ethics in Business Award in the large business category all bring services to a wide range of customers, both individually and corporately. In each instance, though, their values are what set them apart. So I get this exciting part. Our honorees include KPMG, a Big Four accounting firm providing audit, tax, and advisory services. Netspend, a provider of prepaid debit cards that empower consumers to manage their own finances. PIMCO, an investment firm that prioritizes diverse points of view to develop client solutions. So let's learn a little bit more about these great companies.
The heart of what we do, we're auditors, we're CPAs, the heart of what we do. We sell integrity effectively. And so that's really the first that we lead with, and it really underpins all else that we do. Other values that we live and breathe by is together. You know, we're an inclusive environment, we're an inclusive culture, and we're in this together to do the right thing. And then the fifth core value is for better. It's we do what matters. So that's really important to have your employee base understand the importance of what you do, the importance of the daily assignments and the impact it has on people and our clients and our community. And that influence comes not just from delivering the services that we offer, but the great thing about working for KPMG, and frankly one of the things that I enjoy most about it, it's provided me such opportunity to be for better outside the walls. The ability to impact the broader community, that's been really one of the most rewarding things about being part of an organization that really triumphs in the success of the broader community. It's been really an inspiring place to do that.
Our people are everything to the firm. I mean, as an organization, we manage money on behalf of our clients. So trust is the utmost importance. And with trust, you have to deliver. You have to be responsible. You have to create a culture of trust and good ethics. And it really has to be at the core of everything you do, because the old adage is a reputation takes years to build and seconds to destroy, and we're very conscious of that. So it's always been a part of our culture as a firm, and we brought that to Austin as well. And with that, one of our tenets is, 4 of our tenets are collaboration, openness, responsibility, and excellence, and we try to instill that with every new employee we have and with every interaction with our clients as well.
So I think regardless of the size of the company, it's important to have an underlying framework that allows people to make the right decisions and be confident in that. That's about hiring the right people, having the right policies, making sure you're up to date on laws and regulations, you have codes of ethics, ethics hotlines, all of those, so procedures that you follow day to day. But underlying all of it, and most important, is the practice. And so that day-to-day practice is the most important element.
All right, I think I get the... And come on up.
We just commented that the award is heavy. This is a heavy topic, ethics. Thank you for being here today. I'm so excited to be here and obviously represent what I think is a great company. I'm Beth Deck. I'm Netspend's CFO. And as I entered the room today, I was reminded that really ethics is underlying all that we do in every job that we have. One of the competitors in the category for this award, KPMG, is I'm an alumni of KPMG, and John Recker hired me right out of school. I took him on his first tour of the University of Texas during our interview. I also see other former employers in my career. Kurt Wilkin is at a table that I see. We work together. And even my dance instructor, April, who I see most weeks at the JCC dancing, is here. And so I think that reminds me just how small a world that we live in and what good and what impact we can have in our day-to-day actions. And so we are clearly in good company here today. And I invite you to continue the ethical journey and carrying the good forward in times to come. Thanks.
That's just fantastic, isn't it? Every day. Small world, too, isn't it? Well, next up to present this year's Ethics in Business Award for the small business category, I'd like to welcome Andrew Cooper from program sponsor and former honoree, the Tyrex Group. Andrew?
Well, first and foremost, Isaiah, I want to thank you for reminding me how important it is to offer water, so I'm going to take that first. And secondly, I'd like to honor your father. One more round of applause, and I thought just thank you. One of my favorite things about these awards is to see how all kinds of different industries and sectors of business are represented and the ethical views that they demonstrate. I've been in manufacturing for almost 40 years now, and it looks much different for me than it does for, say, an insurance company or a restaurant. But what I respect about these businesses is the way they continue to run their business, the opportunities that I get to learn from each and every one of you here today about different areas and opportunities that you represent in your individual companies. What binds this group together is a commitment to strong values that wrap around every business and the interaction they have with their staff and their customers. Our finalists in this category includes Cow Moovers, a family-owned moving company that lifts spirits along with its clients' stuff, Wheatsville Co-op, an iconic Austin neighborhood company and grocery store that's been building its community since 1976, and Vintage IT Services, maintaining technology and infrastructure and keeping data secure for customers of all shapes and sizes. Let's learn a little bit more about them.
What's cool about Wheatsville is that myself and my peers, especially on the strategic leadership team, we all really grew up working in grocery stores. So the general manager, he started when he was in college too and worked on the front end on the register, and now he was a store manager and now he's the general manager, and that's not an uncommon story for co-ops, and that's really my story too, as far as starting as a part-time cashier in college and having opportunities to learn and grow. And I think it makes you more connected to the staff, and it's easier to understand what their concerns might be and how to address them when you've been in their role.
I feel like any organization, everything starts at the top, right? If the owners have integrity, they do business ethically, that's gonna bleed down to the employees. They're gonna be happy, they're gonna feel more valued, motivated, and that's gonna transcend to our customers. But I think that whole process of hiring the right people that fit the culture, because not only do we want the right people for our business, but that person should be happy as well. You know, bringing them into an environment where they're feeling like this is not my jam, you know, I like IT but in a different way, then it's better to part gracefully than to bring that person on, have them be miserable, and then make it even more difficult to manage at that point.
So when you walk in our warehouse you enter in the call center, and big on the back wall it says, "We seek to serve." And you start moving your way around. And so I told those that were interviewing me, I said, I just want to let you know, our goal is if I don't speak to you at all, you can walk around and in 5 minutes you can come back to me and say, this is what y'all are about. This is what matters to you. We spend as much time on internal marketing as we do external marketing. Because internal marketing, I get 15 minutes with our guys every day before they're in your living room. How do you make sure that they live and breathe the culture? You have to preach and repeat. And so that's what we do every day for 15 minutes. And we put it everywhere, and it's on their rearview mirrors, and it's on their paperwork, because we're not right on top of them. We're sending them to evangelize who we are. And so we're super intentional about it.
Square Cow Movers, please come on up.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Dr. Christian and the Recognized Good and Samaritan Center. We're thrilled to be here. We've actually been finalists twice before. And the last time was about 8 years ago, and we lost to Gonzalez Office Supply. And I sat at my table and I couldn't help but think, we just lost to Dunder Mifflin. You know what I mean? But it seems like the wrong event to turn the table over out of anger. So we didn't do that. We're just incredibly honored and humbled by this. We started our business in 2008. How many know that was a lot of entrepreneurial intuition? But we've spent the last 15 years trying to fill a gap in the industry that's not known for great service. You know, we're always breaking the leg off a futon away from ruining somebody's day. And we do that from time to time. It's a natural part of the industry. And how do we kind of fill that gap from a frustrated client? In this industry, it's really difficult. And as I think about the obvious ways that we want to build business, right? It's so clear. If you go to business school like I did and you study it, what is the growth? What's your net margin? Here's what I think. In 30 years, when I'm old and gray or older and grayer, I won't know what we did in 2023. I won't know what our net margin was. I won't know where we expanded to, but I will remember this award, as will my business partners and our team. Because here's what we're saying. We're saying that all those things matter, but if you can't do what's right, what does any of it matter? And that's what we've been working for a long time. So I actually have a prayer every year, a specific prayer and a specific scripture, being a family of faith, a company of faith. And I want to read that scripture to you today. It's Psalm 90:17.
May the favor of the Lord our God rest on us. Establish the work of our hands. Yes, establish the work of our hands. And so this award is more than an award, it's an answer to prayer. Thank you so much.
Let's give another round of applause to all the finalists and the winners. As we move to the nonprofit category, this is a perfect chance to let you know it's our last call for donations to the Samaritan Center to be considered in our Grand Caymans raffle today. So, if you're doing a last-minute card, just raise your hand and we're going to thank you and pick up the card. So let's do that. Now next, while we're getting the last round of cards, let me introduce the CEO from last year's nonprofit honoree in these Ethics in Business Awards, Kevin Brockmeyer from Skill Point Alliance.
Thank you, Earl. Before I start here, I just want to say that I can't think of a more prestigious award to get than this award. I mean, it says a lot about your organization, and I'm excited to be able to be up here today to present the award in this category. Being ethical in the nonprofit sector seems really easy, right? Well, it can be, but I'm here to tell you that leading impactful programs that help make our society better on a shoestring budget can be tough. And leading with values takes commitment, true commitment every single day. And I'm proud that we've chosen to make that commitment at Skill Point Alliance. And I'm proud of today's honorees in the nonprofit category for doing the same. Our nonprofit honorees include Austin Sunshine Camps, providing the magic of overnight camp without the barrier of cost. BookSpring, building literacy skills and the motivation to read through increasing home libraries and reading aloud activities for children. And Wonders and Worries, providing free professional support for children and teenagers through a parent's serious illness. Let's learn more about these high-impact agencies.
It's all about listening. And it's all about listening from every single channel you can listen from. It's not just one survey. It's not just one-on-one meeting. It's walking around and listening to people as they're having conversations. It's looking at your social media, what people are saying on social media. That actually matters. And some of your best examples of testimonies of your impact are coming out of social media nowadays. So you really have to, as a leader, just keep listening to everything that's going on in the environment and adjusting. If it's a little bit too hot this way, you move it a little bit this way, and you just keep taking that middle path as best you can. And if you do that and listen and really believe that everybody is valuable, everybody has something to contribute, and really kind of love everybody to some degree, you can make equity happen in the workplace.
I think we're a little bit lucky in that it is our ethos, it is our blood, in that what we do is providing equity for the kids that we serve. The harder part for us is making sure that everything that extends beyond our mission and the camps that we provide to the kids who can't afford camp is also equitable and fair. And
For us, that's the more challenging part. So we've done things like create a counselor and training program where we only have our past campers be in this professional development program for 2 years in hopes that they become a counselor, because one thing that we saw is that there were no counselors who looked like our kids, and we knew that was really important, but what can we do to be a part of that change?
So Wonders and Worries provides free professional support to children and teens when a parent has a serious illness or injury. And sometimes it is a challenge to not want to engage and take on more than we should, but to really stick to our mission. And I think that we're blessed because we are in a community of so many incredible organizations. And so by partnering with other organizations, we're able to meet the needs of many of our families, but it doesn't mean that we're the ones that need to be doing that. Those things that we've put in place allow us to continue to focus on our mission and do a really, really excellent job of that, but still making sure that we feel like our families are getting connected to other resources they need.
Austin Sunshine Camps. Congratulations.
Who else wants to come on?
Anyone who's not up on the stage.
Tighter?
Yeah.
Don't lose Earl.
Where is he? Oh. There he is.
Wow. Thank you all so much. Thank you to Recognize Good and to Concordia University. I am so glad I gave Isaiah some water that day. Congratulations to Wonders and Worries and to BookSpring. We admire the work you guys do and are honored to be in this category with you. Austin Sunshine Camps provides the magic of overnight camp without the barrier of cost, because we believe that even though our kids cannot afford to go to camp, that should not mean that they should not have a high quality camp provided to them. This overnight camping industry was not built for the kids that we serve. 95% of our campers qualify for free or reduced lunch. 9% are in foster care. 83% identify as something other than white. And we feel like it is our obligation to be relentlessly optimistic about bringing them an amazing experience so that they can build resilience and self-confidence and have hope for the future. And it takes a village, as you can see. So thank you to all of our amazing supporters and friends behind me. We couldn't do it without all of your support. Thank you.
It is always inspiring, isn't it, Isaiah? I got my own water, but thank you. I'm just blown away by the sense of integrity of these companies and these organizations and these people, because that doesn't happen without the right people in place. We're going to move on to our individual award. Before we do that, we want to remind you that this event doesn't happen without nominations. And we need you to nominate. You can do it several ways. The QR code up on the screen, use that to make sure you get that doing it. Or you can nominate online at recognizegood.org. Or you can scribble out on a napkin today and hand it to somebody before you leave. Make sure you nominate. If you don't nominate today, think about it on your way home and make sure you nominate later this week. We need to start with a good number of nominations to have a great pool of candidates to recognize next year. So here to present the award for the individual category, please help me in welcoming last year's honoree in this category, Michelle Glaze.
Yes, nominate. Oh gosh. Nominate. Nominate yourself, nominate your friends, nominate your mama, your daddy, nominate everybody. Because that's how I was able to be awarded last year. Because in the words of my great friends Glinda and Elphaba from Wicked, I'm a Broadway nerd, who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I was nominated, got to go through the process, come to this amazing lunch, I have been changed for good. So please get involved. But today I am here to help recognize an individual. You've heard a lot about businesses and nonprofits, but this award is about the person. A Carolina, a Preston, and a Ron. But it really is a very different type of award because yes, you need leaders in business, but this is the ethos of the person themselves. And so it is an honor for me to recognize the achievements and services of today's honorees for the Individual Ethics in Business Award. No matter the size of the company that you're in, whether you're in a big company or a little company, you can make a difference. And these individuals who are nominated today have done so much to change and shape the community of our Central Texas because they have changed and improved our community in significant ways. Our finalists are Carolina Bolinger, who is the CEO at Flow Yoga, opening her studio doors to all for over 10 years while healing both the mind and body. Preston James, a 20-year leader at Dell who's been busier than ever after retiring, building equity into young startup companies from the very start. And Ron Kessler, a former legal leader and chamber chair whose executive coaching business has helped countless leaders put the values front and center. Let's find out more about these amazing individuals.
I think wisdom is never in isolation. And if we're talking around wisdom of ethics, I think we're going to say it's good to have people around you, someone to talk to you, a confidant. So then we talk about that in many of the groups that I'm in. We talk about the standard of ethics. We call it a standard. So Ron Kessler has the Kessler standard. There's 10 principles, and I share it with people, but it's a standard. Now, do I live up to it every day? No. But it's my goal, it's my standard. So I would tell this audience that if you wanted to practice good ethics, write yourself up a 5-point, 10-point standard and share it with your family, share it with your friends, and say, this is what I want to be held accountable to. And if I ever get off base here, would you remind me?
I'm very hands-on. So I am in the field. I'm at the studios every day. I still teach classes, so I connect with the students, with my team on a daily basis. So I'm not behind an office, in the computer. That's not my jam. I like to just connect with folks one-on-one or in big groups. I like to get the feedback and feel what is the experience is like for the students and for the team as well. So I'm every day, I'm there.
It's crazy with everything that we've got going on today that, so many lines are being drawn to keep people from engaging with each other. And it's unfortunate, I think, because I don't think that's why we were put on this planet, right? I think we're supposed to be working together, working with each other as humans. There shouldn't be that much suffering right? There shouldn't be that much suppression and all that kind of stuff going on. It just really shouldn't. So where can we create alignment? There's probably common interest. Maybe it's with our kids. Maybe it's where you're from. Maybe it's what school you went to. At the end of the day, we probably have some similarities along the way. If not, that's cool. I'm learning from you. You're learning from me.
Bolinger. Woo! Hello. Oh, here we go. Come on up. Hi. Congratulations. 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 Okay, we're going to take a photo, I think, first. So everybody help you here. Okay. Now, y'all are not Carolina. I can tell that. I'll hold it for you.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Maya.
I'm Michaela.
And I'm Maria. We're the double threes.
And we are clearly not Carolina. But we thank you so much for this award, and she would be very honored to receive it. She's actually currently just hosted a retreat in Spain because, like she said, she's in it every day. When I first met Carolina, it was through an act of kindness. She allotted an opportunity to my business partner now. He wanted to start over, and he wanted an opportunity to bring a meditation to the community. So he approached Carolina, and he said, hey, I have this crazy idea. Can I use your space? She could have said no, but she said yes. And since then, she has had a direct impact on the ability for him to help other people in the community through meditation, through wellness, and they've touched over thousands of lives. From that moment, I've seen her expand in so many ways and do so many things for the community through the pandemic and also all of the storms that we've had. She always opens the doors for the community, and her mission is to make sure that people belong when they walk through our door. So it doesn't matter where you come from, what you have, or what your capabilities are, you have a place to belong when you come through our doors. And so we're happy to take this award for her and carry on her mission, and we thank you all. Thank you.
Finally, this afternoon, we're presenting a special Lifetime Achievement Award for Ethics in Business to someone who's made an unbelievable impact on this community. Not just on the work we do, but in how we do that work. And I'll tell you, if you go to the Recognize Good or the Ethics in Business website and you take a look at the past year's Lifetime Achievement Awards, it's an amazing list of people who will inspire you. So with that, Don, take it away.
Well, you know, Earl, the work of serving our communities unhoused with food and shelter is just a huge challenge that people take on in this community. And yet it's a success of Mobile Loaves and Fishes, and now the exemplary Community First Village that can be traced back to the simple tenets of love and respect for neighbors.
Ethical business leadership can often come down to simply doing the right things for the right reasons. And as the success of Alan Graham's program has grown to house hundreds of formerly homeless people, the reason behind it all has remained constant. As Alan says, housing won't solve homelessness, but community will. So let's watch the video.
You know, I've spent a lot of time in Scripture, and I'm not a Scripture scholar by any stretch of the imagination, nothing close. Over a period of time, I finally came down to, love God and love your neighbor. And, there's some other things that underpin all that, like, hey, don't judge. It's not your role. So what I've decided to do is just love God, to the best of my ability. It's flawed. Love my neighbor to the best of my possible ability. It's flawed as well. And stay away from the judgment table. You're not empowered with that deal. You know, what God's going to do at the end of time is completely up to God. You know, and I have no say in that. He hadn't asked me to come in and do that. So in the meantime, I'm going to love to the best of my ability, without judgment, to the best of my ability, every human on the planet, and to believe that everyone is subject to forgiveness, reconciliation, healing, and redemption. My favorite time this evening was your talk, brother, about your dad, and what a phenomenal award that is. My daughter is sitting at table 17, and I hope she was paying attention to that. We all know that when we get the opportunity to stand up in front, that behind us are an extraordinary number of people that ended up supporting and helping drive the bus to be able to even stand up here. And number one at the pinnacle of that list would be my wife, Tricia Graham, right here. Would you stand up, babe? Stand up. We all know, beyond any shadow of a doubt, that behind every great woman, there's just a man. And I stand here to represent that man. And then the rest of the people at that table right there, table number 17, would everybody stand up right now, please, for me? Yeah. That team of nothing but goodness represents our 100 full-time employees, our thousands of volunteers, donors, board members that this year, as we celebrate our 25th year of founding in Austin, Texas, I can't believe it, a quarter of a century. It's amazing. I asked Earl earlier if it's just, are old people the only ones that get this award? And so maybe that's the case. But that table represents the essence of 25 years and this entire community coming up underneath Mobile Loaves and Fishes and doing the work of God. And so I stand here humbly for those thousands of people that have been a part of this and accept this award humbly, and we are completely honored to be here with you today. God bless you and thank you.
So now we're going to pull the name of our raffle winner. So all of you gave that $100 donation and put that in the basket. It might be one of you. Cindy Long, will you come up on stage and help us do this? Bring the basket, help us pull that name. Come on, all right.
It's actually going to be Josie and Vanessa doing this. Drum roll. Who gets to go to Cayman?
And the winner is Ron Mullen.
Thank you to everybody who made a donation today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you all so much. And Ron, have a great time. Earl said he'll go with you if you need a companion. You know, building the ethical future that we want for the Austin business community will take each and every one of us. We have to keep learning from each other. As you heard in the very first video, we are learning all the time. We have chapters in the books being written. And the books that you see in the center of the table are yours. Take a book, take it home, read it, learn, pass on your learning to others so that this place we call Austin and the greater Austin region continues to serve ethically as they build their businesses higher and higher. And we want to let our example shine for the authors of the next chapter in the story of our Austin business community. So Earl, come on up and talk about what we're going to do next.
Everybody should have one of these on your table. And this little exercise is just to remind us that we all play a role in protecting and promoting ethical standards. Every one of us, regardless of our job title. And when we are all shining that light consistently and strongly, ethics truly becomes part of our everyday culture. Now I'd like to ask every one of you, if you believe you have a role in playing and building Austin's ethical future, please find the recognized good flashlight on your table, stand and turn it on, and let's have 500 people let their light shine.
There it is. All right, my turn. I want you all to take a look around, see what's happening out there. You know, if there's only one light at every table or two, we'd be in trouble. But there are hundreds of them. If it was only CEOs or HR managers who were worried about ethics, we'd be in trouble. But all of us in this room and long beyond are caring about that, and it takes everyone to build an ethical business community. So thank you all for doing that. Take a look around. Give yourselves kind of a woo as you're doing that, right? There it is.
I'll tell you another thing that really makes this day special is we have all these lights shining, and there's one thing that you may not have noticed, but for most business luncheons at this point, half the room is empty. And if you look around, this is the exception. The room is still full of people. So thank you all for being a part of this. And showing the future authors and award winners, setting a standard for them, as Ron Kessler mentioned.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's our program for today. All of the recipients today, would you all come up on stage to have your picture taken before you leave the room? Bring your trophies with you. Thanks, everybody, for doing this. Have a fantastic rest of the day. We'll see you next year, and remember, nominate people. Thanks, man.
Congratulations.